Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Tunist English Podcast. I'm Jack.
And I'm Lily. We are so happy you're joining us today. If you are listening to this, it means you want to take your English to the next level, and we are here to help you do that with ease.
Today's topic is something that I think 100% of English learners experience. It doesn't matter if you're a beginner or advanced, it's that moment where you're about to speak, someone is looking at you, and suddenly your mind goes blank.
Oh, the brain freeze. I know it well. It's like your brain is a computer and suddenly the screen turns blue and says, error. You know the words, you've studied them for years, but in that moment, nothing.
Exactly. It's frustrating, it's embarrassing, and it makes people want to stop practicing. But today, we aren't just going to talk about why it happens. We are going to give you the heat to melt that freeze.
I love that metaphor, Jack. Let's melt the ice. But first, let's look at the why. Why does a smart person suddenly forget how to say, how are you, when they're nervous?
Well, Lily, it's actually science. It's not because you have a bad memory. It's because of stress. When we are stressed, our brain enters a fight or flight mode.
Right. Our brain thinks the person we are talking to is a tiger.
Exactly. Evolutionarily, when a tiger is chasing you, you don't need the part of your brain that handles complex grammar and vocabulary. You just need to run. So your brain shuts down the language center to save energy for survival.
That's so interesting. So when I'm at a coffee shop in London and I'm nervous about ordering a latte, my brain thinks the barista is a tiger?
In a way, yes. Your heart beats faster, your palms get sweaty, and your logic center turns off. You aren't stupid. You are just protected by your own biology.
There's also the perfectionist trap, right? I see this a lot on Tunist English. People comment saying, I'm afraid to say something wrong.
That's the biggest ice cube in the brain. When you try to speak, you have a little monitor in your head. This monitor is checking every word. Is it he go or he goes? Is it in or on? While you are checking the grammar, you stop the flow of the conversation.
It's like trying to drive a car while constantly looking at the engine. You're going to crash.
Perfect analogy. You focus so much on the engine, the grammar, that you forget to look at the road, the person you were talking to.
Another reason for the freeze is what I call the translation bridge. Most learners think in their native language first. Let's say their native language is Spanish or Chinese. They build a sentence in Spanish, then they try to walk across a bridge to translate it into English.
And if that bridge is long or broken, they get stuck in the middle.
Exactly. If you try to translate a 10-word sentence from your language to English word for word, your brain will freeze because the grammar rules are different. By the time you find the English word for nevertheless, the other person has already walked away.
It's true. Speed is the enemy of translation. To speak fluently, we have to burn that bridge and stay on the English side.
Okay, Jack, we know why it happens. Stress, the tiger brain, perfectionism, and translation. Now, let's give our Tunist English family the tools to melt the ice. What is tip number 1?
Tip number 1, the good enough rule.
Explain that.
When you speak, your goal is communication, not a 100% score on a test. If you say, I go store yesterday, it is grammatically wrong, but does the listener understand you? Yes. They know you went to the store.
So, good enough English is better than perfect silence.
Exactly. Once you give yourself permission to speak bad English, the stress goes away. And when the stress goes away, the tiger brain relaxes. Suddenly, the correct words usually pop into your head because you aren't blocking them with fear.
That's a huge mindset shift. I always tell my students, English is a tool, not a trophy. You don't need to polish it. You just need to use it to build a connection.
Tip number 2, use bridge phrases. This is a professional secret.
Oh, I love these. These are the ums and ahs, but better.
Right. When your brain freezes, don't just stand there in silence. Silence creates more pressure. Use filler phrases to buy yourself time. Phrases like, that's an interesting question. Let me think about that for a second. How should I put this? Actually, what I mean is,
These are great because they sound natural. They give your brain 3 or 4 seconds to find the frozen word while you are still making sound.
it keeps the engine running. If you stop making sound, the engine dies. If you say, "That's a good question," you are still driving.
Tip number 3, the small circles method.
Tell me about that.
Sometimes we freeze because we try to say something too complex. We try to use a big circle word like extraordinary. If you forget that word, don't get stuck. Go to a small circle, a simpler word.
So instead of extraordinary, just say very good.
Exactly. If you forget the word refrigerator, say the cold box in the kitchen. If you forget the word colleague, say the person I work with. Never stop for a specific word. Describe it with simple words.
That is so important. Native speakers do this too. I forget words in English all the time, and I just describe them.
I saw you do that yesterday. You forgot the word stapler and called it a paper clicker thing.
Exactly. And you understood me. No freeze occurred. Let's talk about the body for a moment. When we freeze, our body gets tight. Our shoulders go up to our ears.
And we stop breathing.
Yes. If you don't have oxygen in your brain, you can't find vocabulary. So, tip number 4 is the power breath.
This sounds like yoga.
It's simple. If you feel a freeze coming, take one deep breath through your nose. It sends a signal to your nervous system saying, "Hey, there is no tiger here. We are safe." You can turn the language center back on.
I also find that shadowing helps with this. For our Tunist English listeners who don't know, shadowing is when you listen to a native speaker and repeat exactly what they say at the same time.
How does that help with brain freeze?
It builds muscle memory. Sometimes our brain freezes because our mouth isn't used to the shapes of English words. If you practice shadowing for 10 minutes a day, your mouth knows how to move automatically. It's like riding a bike. You don't have to think about moving your legs. They just move.
That's brilliant. If the mouth knows what to do, the brain can relax. We have to talk about tip number 5. Stop the translation. People always ask, "Jack, how do I think in English?"
And people think they have to be an expert to do it, but that's not true.
No, you can start today. Here is the exercise. Look around your room, point at things, and say the English name. Chair, window, coffee, cat.
That's level 1. What's level 2?
Level 2 is verbing your life. As you walk through your house, say what you were doing in simple sentences. I am making coffee. I am looking for my keys. I am opening the door.
I do this. It feels a bit crazy at first, talking to yourself, but it builds a direct connection between the action and the English word. There is no Spanish bridge or French bridge in the middle.
Exactly. When you do this, you are training your brain that English is a primary language, not a secondary one. So when you are in a real conversation, your brain doesn't have to travel so far to find the words. The ice never even forms. Oh, absolutely. When I was learning a bit of Japanese, I went into a small restaurant. I had practiced my order for 20 minutes. I was ready. I walked up to the counter. The waiter looked at me and said something very fast. It wasn't what I expected.
And?
Total system failure. I just stood there. My face got red. I forgot how to say water. I forgot how to say thank you. I just looked at him and said, ramen, please?
But did you get the ramen?
I did, and that's the point. I felt like a failure because I didn't say the perfect Japanese sentence I had practiced, but I got my food. I communicated. The next day, I went back to the same shop. Because I had survived the embarrassment, I wasn't as nervous. I said a little bit more.
That's the exposure method. The more you freeze, the more you realize that the freeze won't kill you.
Exactly. Each freeze is just a step toward fluency. You have to fail your way to success.
Okay, Tunist English family, we want you to do something right now. Jack, give them a small challenge.
Okay, here's the challenge. I want you to pause this podcast in a moment. I want you to look at one object near you and try to talk about it for 60 seconds without stopping.
60 seconds? That's a long time.
It is, but here's the rule. You cannot stop speaking. If you forget a word, you must use a bridge phrase or small circle word.
For example, if I'm talking about my phone and I forget the word screen, I could say, the glass part where you see the pictures.
Exactly. Keep the sound going. Don't let the ice form. Try it with a chair, a pen, or even your own hand.
This is such a good drill. It's like fluency cardio.
Let's summarize what we learned today for everyone at Tunist English.
The freeze is natural. It's just your tiger brain trying to protect you from stress. Take a deep breath to turn it off. The good enough rule. Stop trying to be perfect. Bad English that is spoken is better than perfect English that is stayed in your head. Use bridge phrases. Buy your brain some time with phrases like, let me see, or actually. The small circle method. If you forget a big word, use 3 small words to describe it. Think in English. Narrate your day. I am drinking water. I am sitting down.
And most importantly, be kind to yourself. Learning a language is like training for a marathon. Some days you will run fast, and some days you will trip and fall.
If you trip, just get back up, brush off the dust, and keep talking.
We hope this episode helped you today. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe to Tunist English. Leave us a comment and tell us, what is one word you always forget when you are nervous?
I always forget the word colleague. I always end up saying my work friend.
See, even Lily does it.
Thank you for listening, everyone. Keep practicing, keep speaking, and don't be afraid of the freeze.
We will see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.